Many bettors out there look at the last 10 games of the NBA season, the last couple of weeks of the regular season, and go, yeah, not so much. I love this time of year. Last year, we went on a big run, end of March, beginning of April. I think I hit close to 90% over a 2-week span. Let's see if we can do it again in 2026. Teddy covers with another Teddy's Tips for Friday, the 27th of March. Big card tonight in the association. And one thing I'm doing on this show, again, we've had one thing that's been working. We're going to talk about the wise guy totals, and I've got another one of those for you today. But I like the concept. This is a new show. I'm trying to get in and out in 10 minutes, quick hitters. But I like the concept of changing it up a little bit one day to the next. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you every game on my short list and just quick talk about what I'm thinking about, why I'm betting this game, or why I'm thinking about betting this game, and that sort of thing. So I think it'll be helpful. I think it'll be interesting, and hopefully you guys will stick around to watch it. Again, 10 minutes or less, in and out. Appreciate the comments, the likes, and the follows very, very much. So let's start with the wise guy total. And the wise guy total, this is something that every night in the evening here in Las Vegas, I'll sit down and write the numbers for the next day, make my numbers. And then as the markets move overnight and in the morning, we see where the sharp money is flowing. And this one, I thought it might go there last night. It absolutely did. I'm kicking myself for not betting it. That'd be the Bulls and the Thunder over. That was 236.5 last night. There were some 237s out there. I'm seeing 239.5 out there right now. Chicago defensively, they've let go of the rope a little bit. And of course, they're not a defensive team to begin with. The roster got completely remade at the trade deadline. The guys they brought in, offensive acumen, but team defense, the Bulls have nothing. As we saw in Philadelphia the other night when the 76ers scored a $157 on them. And certainly OKC is a team that's capable of doing that to anybody. So we've seen sharp money for the over OKC Chicago. That, for me, very clear. Wise guy total of the day. That's one. Second play. And again, I talked about Indiana the other night, and I know they got in with a miracle 3, against the Lakers. And that is a concern for me. But Pacers at +9 at home against the Clips intrigue me. And the concept here for Indiana, they've been awful all year. I get it. They don't want to win games. I get it. But for all the injuries they've had, Nemhart's back, Nesmith's back, Siakam's back, McConnell's back, Toppin's back. And when you have 5 pieces, all of whom have missed time, all of whom contributed in the finals last year, guess what? Pacers have covered 4 in a row. I think there's value with Indiana right now. I do lean in their direction. Pacers +9 against the Clippers. Clippers are a tough team to step in front of, though, right now. That's my biggest concern here. And, of course, Indiana doesn't want to win games. So Indiana's in the short list. We'll see if we pull the trigger. They are most surely on the short list. Atlanta on the short list as well. I like the way this Hawks team is playing. All they've done, we talk about the point spread stories of the year. And again, look at the Odds Logic live odds screen. The Hawks 4.5 in Boston against the Celtics. We saw Atlanta. And again, from a point spread standpoint, since the All-Star break, Atlanta's been the team in the NBA. They've absolutely found their rhythm. They've been on fire. They went to Detroit, blew a huge lead, ended up still winning and covering in overtime in their last game. They have a good attitude. They're not exhaling in spots where Quinn Snyder's teams have exhaled in years past. I like this Hawks team. That said, my number in the game was 6.5 with Brown, but I don't want Jaylen Brown expected to sit tonight for the Celtics. And the one thing I don't want is getting less points for a team where everyone's going to play harder because one of the stars is sitting. I mean, it's classic NBA betting. You don't, and of course with Tatum, and Tatum still got some growing pains. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Atlanta win this game or come pretty darn close. But best of the numbers gone, and Brown's absence. Some people say, oh, that's good for Atlanta. In my opinion, the way I handicap, a lot of ways that's bad for Atlanta. So lean Hawks. Haven't yet pulled the trigger on that one. Certainly this Houston-Memphis game with the Rockets laying 13 now at a lot of books, 12.5 at some others. Again, looking at the odds line. Get a free trial, oddslogic.com/Teddy. Takes 2 minutes, not even. Try it. oddslogic.com/Teddy. Try it right now, really. You'll be signed up and looking at it and playing around with it by the time this video is over. It's cool. It's free. Rockets are laying 13, total 227.5 in Memphis. And this is it's not a pick your poison game. I know I want to fade Houston in this point spread range. Go look at other Rockets. The last time the Rockets won a game by double digits on the road. I'll give you a hint. January, maybe? Not many. Houston has been as bet against gets, as chalk. This is not their point spread range. They've not played good basketball. But they're coming off that game in which they lost to Minnesota, where they led by 13 in overtime and then get outscored 15-0. That might be a wake-up call for this team. And Memphis is so awful. Memphis has no low post presence whatsoever. And that certainly concerns me. But I'm looking to bet against the Rockets as big chalk, with a favorite's the one that has to cover. Lean Grizzlies in that one. And I know I'm talking some ugly teams. Oh, I like Indiana tonight. Oh, I like Memphis tonight. It gets worse because Golden State's laying 14. Warriors can't lay 14, dude. They just can't. This is not a Golden State team that is going anywhere. It's not a Golden State team that's playing for anything. We've just seen them back-to-back games against tanking lottery teams. They beat the Nets by 3, had to rally from behind to win that game. Dallas took them into overtime. There's no urgency for Golden State, and they're not that good. They're not good enough to be laying 14 points to anyone. The problem is you got to take Washington. And Washington, by the way, from a trends and angle standpoint, the angle of the day today would be Washington's the worst team in the NBA coming off a win, percentage-wise. I think they're 5-11 ATS, maybe, something like that. They've been pretty awful off their few victories. Not a team that's stringing wins together. And, of course, Washington just played in Utah and won wire to wire by margin 2 days ago. So the Wizards trusting that team to perform well off a big blowout win is dicey. I know I can't lay it with Golden State. I mean, Golden State has been my number on the game 7. Okay, and the markets are 14. And yesterday, when I said my number on the game was really short with Sacramento, I didn't pull the trigger on the Kings, and the Kings were wire to wire in Orlando. This is the one where I'm supposed to say, hold your nose, bet the Wizards. Maybe we'll get there. But Washington has been problematic when it comes to a lot of things, but particularly coming off a win. They've been pretty darn bad. Another game that stood out to me, we talked about Pacers, we talked about Hawks, we talked about Chicago OKC over, we talked about Memphis, talked about Washington. New Orleans, I slight interest in New Orleans. I haven't got the injury report yet for the Pelicans for today, who's sitting on the second of back-to-backs. They had a bad night last night. I'm not convinced Toronto should be laying 9.5 there. So there is a lean to New Orleans. That's one game on this card where I want to do a little bit more work. And last but not least, Brooklyn. Had them for the clients the other night. And it doesn't matter what happens. It's a sweat with Brooklyn because they're an awful team. And they had that stretch in the fourth quarter where they blew a double-digit lead, and then Golden State was up 4, and I'm like, oh, my God, here it comes. And then it was fine. The Nets, but without Michael Porter Jr. on the floor, the Nets and Washington are the worst teams in the league, and when you're putting money on the worst team in the league, you can't necessarily expect good things. Sacramento and Utah are right there. But when you talk about the very worst teams in the league, it's hard to be confident betting on those teams, even when you want to bet against their opponent. And the Lakers, again, the flattest of flat spots coming home off a great road trip. Bigger games than this on tap. This is an exhale spot for LA. Brooklyn has fought their efforts come and gone. Their effort was certainly there last time out against Golden State. The fact they didn't win, this feels like an effort spot for the Nets again this evening. And this point spread range, that's kind of what you need. So lots of ugly dogs. I don't like this many ugly dogs on my short list. That's everything I'm looking at for tonight in the NBA. I hope this exercise was helpful for you guys, really. And if it wasn't, tell me in the comments. We appreciate the likes, the comments, the follows every day. Stay tuned right here on this channel for more quality video content. And have yourself a great Friday and a great betting weekend. We'll be back with another edition of Teddy's Tips, bright and early Monday morning between now and then. Good luck with all your bets. We appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Cheers.